Somebody forgot this.
I forgot my line.
We were.
It's a ton of height. Karma would bite us. We just found one here today.
Now I have a geyser, so I'm so.
It's coming back to hit me. Number one in Portland, when we hear this alarm going off, and nobody is saying anything.
And it was delicious. We should be okay. Fingers crossed.
But today, we are giving you 7 things that you have to be able to handle, to deal with, if you want a full-time RV. Number 1, and this is a big one that nobody really talks about, is it is a lot of work.
It is. The more stuff you pull out, remember, it's the more stuff you have to put back. You're always moving, so you're constantly pulling things out, putting things back, rearranging. I mean, there is a ton that goes with it. So the shorter your stays, the more you're working. The longer your stays, the more you get to enjoy and sit out, and you're not doing I call it Tetris, every 3 to 4 days, moving things around and making sure everything fits. Because you know, when you pull everything out, it never goes back in the same way.
And it's also, you know, something to think about is the more stuff you have, the more work it is.
Yeah.
So people in those smaller little travel trailers without a lot of stuff, they can pack up much faster than we can.
Yeah.
But of course, people with the big 5th wheel, with the extra office, they take longer than us. So you have to navigate your pain point and how much work you're willing to do. After 5 days in Portland, Maine, we are getting ready to head to Boothbay, and we're really excited to go there because we've been there one other time and we know how amazing it is. Before we show you why we love Boothbay, Maine so much, let's show you what you have to see the next time you come through Portland, Maine. My first official Maine Lobster roll. This is really good. The Porthole is one of those iconic Portland locations that you must visit when you're in town. In 1929, this place opened to feed the fishermen, and I can finally say I had an authentic Maine lobster roll, and man, it was delicious.
And I had a hamburger, and it was delicious.
Interested in the journey of a lobster from the depth of the ocean to the tip of your dinner plate? Well, right here in Portland, you can join fishermen, take a boat ride out, catch, haul, and bring in that lobster and all those other sea critters. Lucky Catch will allow you to go out with them. You get to do all kind of things. Get your hands dirty, measure the lobster, ban the lobster, all of it, and then put it right on your dinner plate.
Or you can order a hamburger like I did. I'm more a farm-to-table kind of guy.
Are you a fan of off-the-beaten-path locations? Well, we just found one here today. Right behind me, right here in Portland, is a piece of the actual Berlin Wall.
Who knew? I mean, we were walking right by it, and I went, wait, is that really? So we looked it up, and I actually was anticipating that would be a much thicker wall. That's not very thick.
I don't think it was the wall that kept people there. I think it was all the guns around the wall that actually kept people from going across it.
It was a surprise find nonetheless. Commercial Street has it all, from restaurants, shops, bars, and pubs. You can hang out watching the boats come in while eating some of the freshest seafood. Or if you're like me, a well-done hamburger.
This bakery was voted #1 in Portland by the locals, and it has everything from mouth-watering fudge to cinnamon rolls with ooey gooey icing. And the best part is this bakery begins its day before the sun comes up, so you can actually smell the yummy goodness long before the doors open. We decided to try our 2 favorites, chocolate chip cookie and brownies, to see how they compare.
That chocolate chip is just ooey.
Oh. You know, I love me a good brownie. Oh my gosh.
This is good. I
This
should have
is
got more.
amazing. So good. Holy crap.
I should have got more than one. This is good.
You
And
can
it's
go
still
back
warm.
in, the door's right there.
I know.
Even though our sweets were yummy and delicious, it's really not what the bakery is known for. They make fresh bread all day long. And don't worry, if they run out, you can go online.
Hold on.
Horn.
we got a boat leaving.
You can go online and order exactly what you want. They'll bake it fresh for you, and you can swing by and come pick it up.
Yeah, the baguettes in there looked really good.
Oh,
but they were
everything
making
looked
them,
good.
so they weren't done. Luckily for us, we didn't stick around to get them because we might have been in trouble.
If you're ready to escape the city and all the bustling of the shoppers, then you can come on down to the East Promenade and check out this 2-mile strip of a park.
As you can hear, it's a heavily trafficked area.
It's not as quiet as you would think.
But people are coming here for the park, the Casco Bay, which is right there. I hope I'm
It's
saying that right.
gorgeous.
The views from here are unreal. And on the other side of the street here
Are gorgeous houses ranging from $1 to $2 to $3 million. They are beautiful.
yeah, and all I can do is drool.
We literally were just talking about how cold it was and if I was warm enough in my 2 shirts. And we come around the corner to see the beach and there are 2 people in the water. Oh my gosh, they must be out of their minds. That water must be freezing. Let's go see how cold the water is, Phil. Okay, it's a bit cold. Is that water not too cold for you guys?
Nope.
I'm freezing just looking at you.
Come on in, it'll be colder.
Oh my goodness. You want to get away from the busy traffic up top, pop down here by the water. There's a beach, there's kayaks, there's other rentals, and the trail here is much quieter. Phil always claims he hates history, but anytime we randomly find some military history, he gets all sucked in. So this is actually pieces from the USS Portland that they brought here to preserve, and it's a monument to those who served on that ship. And it has a whole list here of all the battles it fought in during World War II, and it's pretty interesting.
Part of the mast, the ship's bell, and the mast protection structure.
Yeah, this whole thing behind us actually came from part of the ship.
That is crazy. 1932 is on the bell. So the USS Portland was CA-33. It's a heavy cruiser, and it took a lot of damage during the war. They should have known, with all this water and the seaport and whatnot, that the Navy had a presence here.
There is a ton of hype about the Holy Donut. This is considered a gourmet, hand-cut potato donut, and it is all the rage here. So I thought we should take one for the team and we should test these out. Phil's not going to do much talking today because he has a sore throat, but you know he's going to taste the donuts.
Yeah, I'm going to taste it for sure, so that's all you're going to get from me today.
Is this the chocolate sea salt?
No, that was the second one you ordered, I think.
Oh, that's the
maybe.
bacon kind.
Yeah, so maybe that is.
The chocolate's good. All right, we have to try the bacon because everybody's going to be interested in the bacon.
The maple kind?
The maple kind. Oh my gosh. That's real bacon on top. Bacon's not crunchy, but it is good.
That's really good.
I give the Holy Donut 2 thumbs up for sure. I don't know. It's more like dessert to me than breakfast.
Keep talking.
He's going to keep eating. So, all right. So potato donuts are totally a thing and they're totally good. When it comes to lighthouses, Maine has over 60 historic lighthouses to choose from, and this one does stand out from the crowd. It's called Bug Light. It's cute, it's short, it's stubby, but it still draws thousands of visitors each year to come check it out. There's more to this area than just the lighthouse. There is a huge park, and it is perfect for picnics or kite flying, which seems to be really popular here. Welcome to Cape Elizabeth. This is home to one of the most popular lighthouses in Portland. You can actually tour this lighthouse one day a year when they open it up for the annual festival. The original lighthouse built here was 72 feet and was lit with 16 whale oil lamps. The lighthouse sits adjacent to Fort Williams Park, and as you can see, it is a very popular destination. We recommend come early in the morning or late in the evening.
Went to disconnect my water hose, and when I pulled the quick connect off, the spigot busted right here. It's just a PVC piece, and as you can see, now I have a geyser, so I'm soaked. I'm gonna try to go find something that I can plug it.
We were breaking down, and the spigot on the water spigot has broken off, and we have water shooting above our RV.
304, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Pipe patching 101.
Yeah, and I love how you have water dripping off your nose.
Yeah. Well, it busted right in my face as I pulled the quick release down. And I guess when I did, I I tweaked it, so it must have already been cracked or whatever. Either that or I don't need to go to the gym for a while.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Yeah, that is a lie. So they should be able to cut it, turn the water off, and I mean you could see how it's put together. It's just got a hose clamp with a PVC in it, so I'm sure of repeated use, it weakened.
And of all days for us to talk about reasons why you should not full-time RV,
Yeah.
this is just very typical of
There you
the
go.
things you cannot predict that
Yeah.
will happen on your journey.
Yeah, it's the short drive days that get you.
Yes, every time.
Yeah, it never fails. A short drive day, hour and a half, you always have something happen. I've been carrying that thing around for at least 35 years. I got issued that when I made Bosun Mate third class way back in 90. And I used it all the time while active duty as a Bosun Mate, using it to splice line mainly. I mean, it's a multi-tool, is what it was. I had another one that I had a crescent wrench welded to the top of it. So it was truly like a poor man's Leatherman back in the day. But that saved the day today.
Over the last 5 years, we've made some detours in a lot of places, from Chick-fil-A to pulling into Domino's for lunch, all kind of places. So today we were headed up north. We were going to pass LL Bean, so we figured we should really stop in and check this place out.
So we found some RV parking. It's a little tight.
Getting out might be a little precarious.
It's going to be a little hairy.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're committed now, so we'll figure it out.
So we're just going to go shopping and worry about that afterwards.
Yeah, hopefully they're gone when we come back.
So my only tip for you is to make sure you Google map the places where you're going. So we always do that to figure out, is there somewhere we can park? Investigate ahead of time so you don't get yourself in a pickle when you get there.
Yeah, we knew there were some big lots. This lot specifically is for RVs, which is nice. So we should be okay. Fingers crossed.
Maybe. So what we're actually worried about is this curve right here. So if we pull out forward to take that left, Phil's going to actually not be able to go straight. So he's going to have to come way around this way and then take a quick left. So we're not sure that we're going to be able to do it. This is one of the things you have to be careful of. Once we turned into this parking lot to take this spot, you can see this was the last one. We were committed. So trees or no trees, we were coming through it. Well, okay, so yes, we could have stopped. We could have taken off the Jeep and backed up, but yeah, we were committed. So the guy beside us told us that he had been here actually for a couple of nights. So you can come up here by LL Bean, you can park in the RV parking and stay overnight. Although the sign says only one night, he said he stayed 3 and nobody bothered him. So you can use that at your own discretion. The plan, instead of trying to navigate around this curve, is Phil's actually just going to go right around that way and we're gonna go out the wrong way. That way, we don't have to worry about it. So let's get rolling.
"4 years ago, to the date, we were here and here and here."
So we were hanging out with our friends Alan and Ange, traveling up the East Coast, and we did a harvest host overnight here and fell in love with it. We need to give you one more thing you need to be able to handle if you decide to full-time RV, and that is going to be RV trip planning.
Yes, that is a huge part of, I shouldn't say mine, Stacy's agenda anytime we're moving. And she can spend hours on that computer trying to develop a route. Actually, first find a spot, develop a route, reserve a spot, yada yada.
It's
a
even
lot.
more than that because we have to decide where we're going. So I have to research locations, you know, where do we want to stay based on what we want to tour and experience in these places. So as an example, just 2 days ago when I was shut in, I spent 4 hours researching and figuring out where we were going for 10 days in Nova Scotia. So that is a lot of homework just for 10 days. So if you are opposed to putting that much time and effort into where you're going, full-time RV is not going to be for you.
Yeah, if you're the kind of person like me that likes to just get in, turn the key, and go, well, you may not want to do this because there's a lot that goes into it.
So I do want to say we use RV Trip Wizard, and that really cuts down on my time finding campgrounds, staying organized, knowing exactly where we want to go. I have my whole Keys to Canada trip in here, well, as far as we have scheduled anyway. And I got to tell you, I don't know what I would do without RV Trip Wizard. And you guys know we're affiliates, so we do have a 25% off coupon code, so I'll drop that down below. But we would love to know how you guys stay organized, how you figure out where you're going on your trips. Please put that in the comments below so anybody doing their research will have some tips from you as well. I was in the middle of recording this video and thought I would stop to give you some quick information about what we just talked about. RV Life Pro, which is a part of RV Trip Wizard, is about to raise its price. So if you're thinking about jumping into the membership, make sure you do it now before the price goes up. When you become a member, you lock in your price forever as long as your membership doesn't lapse. The next thing is how I've been looking for new destinations to explore, and that's with RV Destinations magazine. You can get it in paper copy or you can get a digital copy online, and we have a discount code for this as well. And one more thing before we get back to the video, we have some merch in our merch store that is being discontinued. So if there were some shirts you had your eye on, make sure you click the link below before they're gone forever.
First commercial batch was what, Ralph? 2009,
2009.
I think, right? So you can find us on tap handles and in finer beverage retailers all over the state, from Kittery to Fort Kent.
So we're out exploring the brewery, and we thought we'd see what everyone is doing while the brewery's closed, and we happened upon Mom and Dad, who seemed to be doing all the hard labor while the sons were eating sandwiches on the stairs. So I don't really understand how this works. It seems like it should be in reverse. And nobody is saying anything, so that just tells me this is the way it normally goes around here.
Our number one beer is a New England IPA called Thirsty Botanist. It's by far our biggest seller.
I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment.
Welcome to the Booth Harbor Bridge, where we were 4 years ago today.
Yeah, and last time we were here, we could actually walk across it. Today, they're repairing it, and it looks like it's going to take them a while to do it. But some fun facts about the bridge that we're standing in front of is...
Stand by. Phil's about to give you some historical facts. Phil read actually a plaque.
Yeah.
Listen up.
Right there. I read that placard. So, the bridge was originally built in 1901. It spans 885 feet. It is 7 feet wide, and it has a 75-foot drawbridge.
Very cool. That is opened by hand.
Yeah, they had to crank it open
crank it.
back in the day. I'm sure this update is going to have a better mechanism to open it up, I would think.
See.
And we're back.
Okay.
Somebody forgot this.
I forgot my line.
We were supposed to say a few more things, and somebody forgot.
We are, because we need to give you another tip and another warning before you full-time RV. So if you cannot handle being away from your family for long periods of time, full-time RV living definitely is not for you.
Yeah, we get that a lot. It's like, I would love to go full-time, but I don't want to be away from the family, the grandkids, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, you know what? We don't miss ours. No, we do. We do. I'm just kidding. But we're so used to it being in the military that we were always spread apart, always across the country in different areas. And technology of today helps you stay closer.
I literally see Walker every morning when he wakes up. I get a video. We FaceTime, so I get to see him and tell him good morning. So really, we don't have time to miss him because I FaceTime my daughter 1 to 10 times a day.
But we get it all the time. People say, oh, I could not do that. I have to be close to the family.
So it's something to consider before you launch and go full-time RV. If you're coming down to explore Boothbay, be sure to check out some of their boat cruises. There are all kind of cruises you can do to check out the harbor, fishing, all kind of stuff. So look it up before you get here. Phil, I have you at the Lazy Man's Trap Door. The perfect jammies for you.
Not happening.
We've got an upstairs speakeasy lounge that goes through a hidden door. I'm not going to divulge where it is. Yeah, in addition to all of the delicious beers that we pour and taste and distribute, we've also got a wonderful tavern with wood-fired pizza and some great menu items. Barbecued brisket on Fridays in the summertime is absolutely phenomenal. We've got a couple of brisketeers who spend all day smoking the meats low and slow. And we really do as much as we can farm to table. So we'll source our salads from local farmers and things like that.
Not only have this as like a family legacy, but as a career that we both truly enjoy.
We'd love to see you. Looking forward to your visit.
So we're driving down the road, headed to our next campground, when we hear this alarm going off. which totally freaks me out. You never want alarms to go off while you're driving down the road, so we had to come figure out what the noise was, and we realized it's our water sensor going off saying there's water in a place there should not be water. So Phil is taking it apart to figure out what's going on.
Can you see any water?
Uh-uh.
Is it dry? Yeah, I don't know, unless it got caught or something. Maybe the batteries are going low. I gotta reconnect them to my app on the phone and see. It might tell me the batteries are low. But it's completely dry under the shower where this one was. We think it did its job, but we're not too sure.
It didn't do its job. It just made us pull over on the side of the road for nothing.
Well,
That's
yeah,
not doing its job. That's annoying me.
I said it might
That's
have.
a false alarm. So I guess this is a good time to give another thing that you have to be able to handle if you plan on going full-time RV, and that is troubleshooting, maintenance, and repairs, because trust me, you'll be doing that all the time. Not only did we just have this water alarm go off, but we've also been troubleshooting our water pump and our fan, our fantastic fan that is in our bathroom. We had some trouble with that this morning, so all of that in a matter of about 4 hours.
The gateway might be bad. I don't know, because the gateway plugged in and it's not powering on. So we know this plug has power because the coffee pot's working. This plug's working. So I'm not sure. So we'll just continue on. There's no water under the shower, so there's nothing to worry about there. When we get to where our next destination is, I'll have to troubleshoot this.
Well, we started a video titled "Don't Full-Time RV Unless You Can Handle These 7 Specific Things." We didn't really think that karma would bite us and some of these things would really go crazy on the RV. So we actually are dealing with something, and we're a little stressed about it because, of course, we're moving on Wednesday, and not only are we moving, but we're moving into Canada, and then the next day we're flying out of our campground to another airport. So go ahead, Phil. Fill them in. It's a little crazy.
Well, there's a couple things going on right now. So we've had our transfer switch keeps tripping. So in other words, power from the pedestal is not making it into the rig. It keeps turning itself off. It's protecting itself. And when we plugged in yesterday, we were on shore power for a good 4 hours, 5 hours on 50 amp. We weren't running anything, I don't think, other than maybe the electric heater.
Yeah.
And it tripped for the first time. So he changed out the breaker, and everything was fine for 5 hours. And at midnight, Stacy wakes me up and she goes, "Phil, the power's popping off again." And I was like, "What?" She says, "Listen," and you could hear the transfer switch boom.
Thunk.
I want to check and make sure that my transfer switch is not going bad. We think it's okay. We think it's good because it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I'm going to run the generator just to make sure that that part of the transfer switch is good. So right now it's going through its checks, and I'm getting no error code. And let's go back inside and see how fast it takes to trip back off if it's going to. And we've got no fault codes or error codes on our Magnum controller either. All right, so it hasn't tripped yet, so I'm going to go check the pedestal, the surge protector itself, what kind of voltage we're getting, because I was getting high and low yesterday. Still no error codes. It must have tripped again, but Stacy didn't notice it when I came back in. There it goes.
It just flickered.
It flickered, but the power's still on. This light and a weather station go out because these are not connected through the inverter. That's how we know we lose power. And it says right now that I'm inverting. Yeah, it's going in and out. PE5, so now it's giving me a code. PE5 is high voltage above 132. So it's telling me I have high voltage at the pedestal, so it's protecting it above 132 and it's shutting off.
So what if we plugged it into 30 amp?
I'm going to try that. So when I plug it into 30 amp, I'll come in here and change the controller to 30 amp draw coming in. It won't be as much coming in, so we'll see if it still trips. Off, unplug. That plug was shoddy. The plug receptacle itself looks like it could be replaced. I never plugged the rig in to the surge protector until after I check the pedestal. Make sure that was off. All right, that's off. All right, it's running its checks. All right, no error codes there. 122 and 123 volts per line. All right, so now I'm gonna go to my AC input, which is on 50 amp. Commonly, that's what we're on. So I'm gonna dial it down to 30 amp. If this doesn't do anything, then it's definitely the 50 amp pedestal.
It's time to use some power to see if we can make it trip. So let's start with a cup of coffee because that can sure spike it. We will, of course, you know, I'm using my fancy new Today is Someday mug, so hopefully that will be the cure for what Elsa's stupid power.
Yeah, and there's not even a flicker of the light. We were getting the light was flickering, our table lamp. So
I'm feeling better.
yeah, and I just told Stacy, I don't know why I didn't go to 30 amp first.
Okay, after all that, we have realized that it is not us, it is the park. So we are operating completely normal on 30 amp on that pedestal, our heater, as well as everything else. So thankfully, we are good. But it does, you know, remind us that monitoring our utilities, paying attention to it, troubleshooting, all of that stuff is still something that we have to do. And if that's not something that you want to do, if you don't want to go out at midnight and mess with something outside in the rain, maybe full-time RVing is not your thing. I feel like this video has taken on a life of its own, so I think it's time to close it out since we are getting ready to leave this campground. So we need to give you the 7th thing that you need to be able to handle in order to full-time RV.
Yeah, it's
a big one.
This is very important. Living together in such close quarters.
Yes, you have to be able to handle having 2, 3, if you're lucky, on a good day, 400 square feet to survive each other in. And if you're coming from an apartment or a large house, man, is that a big switch to the way you live your life every single day.
There is some adjusting to it. I mean, you have to know what buttons not to push all the time.
Just stop pushing. Yes,
Yeah.
there will
Yeah.
be an adjustment in how
Yeah.
you guys communicate, how you work together, how you live together, and how you give each other space to kind of do their own thing.
Yeah, because you can't do this.
Uh-oh.
Show this, Stace. You can't get
Oh.
mad and slam the door.
Yeah, I am a door slammer, or I used to be. So
She hasn't done it in a very
that
long
was my
time.
venting method back with the house.
But-
Because, you know, Phil made me slam a lot of doors over the last 30-something years.
You are in control of your own personality.
Oh, yeah.
So,
oh,
but-
man. It's coming back to hit me.
That's right. But living in tight quarters is really key to a successful full-time RVing. You have to not only love and like the person, but you got to just get along.
Yeah.
And
want to spend a lot of time with them, like
Yeah.
24/7. So we do have a video that goes through some tips to help you survive moving in together into a small space. And no matter where you're coming from, it is a big adjustment to be together 24/7. So I'll put the link to that video down below. And I'm going to put the next video link down below because from here, we are crossing the border, going to Canada, getting ready to hit Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. So make sure you watch us cross the border and see if we brought anything we weren't supposed to. Because we're so nervous.
We've gone through the rig. We've cleaned out what we think we're not supposed to have. We've gone through the websites. Fingers crossed. It's down to D-Day. We're going.
All right, we'll see you out there. Thanks for watching. And hopefully one day we'll see you on the road.